Oh, still busy with all preparation work, revision, assignments. Hi, morning. How are you? Hi. Good morning. How are you? Everything's okay? Everything's good? Okay. Have you guys met your teammates and talks about your technical specs? Hi, morning. Coming in. Not yet, or yes? So far so good. Yeah, tech specs. The next task. I hope you still remember last week we tried remember the mechanism, remember two teams. We talk about, okay, the difficulty is not easy at all, the use of nouns, the use of verbs, think about the logic, talk about technical instructions, technical descriptions. Okay, let's have a warm up. We focus on technical specifications writing. This morning, sample analysis, input. Okay, and then to start with, let's try and have a look at an example. I hope you still remember we talked about recipe. Remember? Yeah, it's on the way. We got to use a menu. Okay, and then you find the instructions in small teams of 4 maybe. Please have a look of the manual and make comments on the design. Do you think the manual is user friendly? From a user's point of view, what do you think? Okay. Now, see whether you find any new friends. Yes, that would be good. Just like what you said, what I said. Okay, you got the Muji purifier user manual, user guide. Please, have a look of this manual. Share your views with your teammates, whether you like the designs or not. Reader or say user friendly or not. From a user point of view, what's your any comments? What about from a technical professional's perspective? Do you think the manual is nicely designed for the users? Any suggestions, room for improvement, strengths, whatever? All ideas are welcome. The discussions, could be pretty short, just about, say, 4 minutes. Okay. Oops. Okay. So may I invite some teams to briefly talk about what you guys have discussed? Any comments on this user manual? Yeah. So.
The picture usage is pretty good. I mean, it's detailed enough for the general user to know what the design is used for and how do they apply to the usage.
So, I mean, may I ask one question that is, well, have your team members talks about, okay, think about users. Usually they will, what are their concerns if they receive, I mean, they need, the user manuals. What sort of information would be the most crucial one, actually?
The graphics, I think.
But
my teammates, but some of my teammates think that it's too wordy.
Oh, okay. Okay, but then, the use of words. Okay, so any, proposals or suggestions which might help solve this problem then? The use of words. Good idea. Yeah, thanks so much. Good.
Maybe probably just talk about how you use it and instead talking. It seems that it focus on the explanation of the designs more detailed instead of talking about how to use it.
Good point. Good. That I'm well. Correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is like you guys think, okay, for users, maybe some irrelevant, less important information has been included here. So to a certain extent, to a certain extent, anyway, the users might not need, may not use the information at all. Then, actually, the information should be kept, or actually, the information can be deleted. Okay, we got it's an open-ended question. Okay, so we don't have any answers at all. I would like to invite, other teams to contribute a bit. Say add something after listening to one team's sharing. Do you think, yes, you agree, or okay, no, you share different views? Yeah, your ideas, might be shared with the help of the chat window, or, just let's get it here. If you guys like to talk about it now directly.
Yeah, besides it get a lot of symbols for us to understand what's its meaning, and the lettering is also really clear for the user to know what's this about. Also, it gets some explanation about the symbols so that we can easily to get attention. What should we do on what is not appropriate about it?
Oh, okay. I love this point. Okay, so some do's and don'ts, right? No. Okay, that's nice. Don't you think, for example, when you have a look at this page, safety advice, do you think this page is an important one? Safety issues for users. Any ideas? Again, the same questions, comes to you, your team. So what do you think about, as a users, what sorts of information would be, relevant to you, more useful to you, or say, the essential information?
Well, I'm not from that team, but I just want to say I just want to speak out my personal opinions.
No problem.
Yeah, if we are talking about that, something that may happen that can cause casualties or even death, we usually take the prevention menu first. I mean, you're going to warn about the users that if you do things in such a way, you may get yourself killed. So I think it's kind of important to mention those fatal usage of this machine.
Mm,
It's worth measuring. But if you're talking about minor or even
mm.
some kind of uh minor damage to the
Hardly
user,
possible, right? You mean, right?
uh,
In terms of possibility, right? Okay. Mm.
then you only have to warn the users, be careful of using it that way. Um let's just say that the warning and caution is kind of important, but if you are a professional engineer, you don't have to use those warning symbols.
Of course, agree. Of course, yeah. But as a product engineer, maybe you have to help your company, and then and satisfy the some sort of standards, right? Okay. Well, in particular, the product is shipped, to different countries, will be sold in different countries. Then, well, safety issues, or say, well, the information here might might be necessary at all. Yeah. So that's of course, well, from the users. That's why it's good. We try to take a look of this simple menu from different perspectives, and you think about, okay, and why we do this task. Basically, I think about, okay, when you guys, okay, prepare your technical specification, I can tell you, I always face a problem, that is my students, they don't care about whether the information is relevant, is crucial, is essential for the potential readers. Number one, have you guys selected a suitable group of target reader, target users of the specifications? Number one. Number two, even though the scope is here, sometimes students might forget, to be a bit more focused. Yeah, thanks so much. Good point. Any other opinions? Room for improvement, appreciation.
They kind of don't need a prohibited. I mean, if we have already warned the users of not doing that way, you don't have to put the prohibited symbol into the menu. You have
Oh.
already warned them. Well, if they still do it that way, it's their responsibility to face the consequences and accept the casualty that they have done.
Really? But then, okay, go and then check other, users menu, and see whether you find the symbols as well. Nice question. Good. Interesting. Nice. I think sometimes it's, you don't forget, okay, well, when you think about the word users, well, it's a pretty broad term. So think about the age, their backgrounds, okay, their educational level. Yeah, but the point is, say, Muji, if, okay, that's one single case, one single complaint, one single casualty, it's related to the company's reputation. It's about the company's image. That's why usually, think about, if you, prepare your tech specs, the tech specs of your product, you might have to read more and more specifications and see how, for example, how detailed your technical specifications should be like. Good. Yeah, but I love this point. Good. Okay. It's an interesting question. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. More than, yeah, because, well, you can't. Good. Yeah. Because you can't, guaranteed what may happen. What I mean is, of course, if this purifier is simply used as a purifier, that's my well, of course. However, you can never, estimate what the users, or how the users use it. That's a little bit, tricky, of course. Good. Nice. Yeah. Of course, both. The users as well as the manufacturers. Well, share the responsibility. I agree. Yeah. and then both. But the companies, well, it's necessary to, give as many, guidelines, reminders, yes, just in case, right? Yeah. Otherwise, lawsuits, remember, yeah, okay. I remember one of you to talk about the, in the informative presentations, yeah, different kinds of complaints or anyway, laws. Any other comments? I just want to let you, have some warm up discussion and then, get more ideas about what you have to do in the coming time when you design your specification. But you find, say this kind of user manual can be, if we have to think about, which category it belongs to, technical specifications. Yeah. But then interestingly, have you find, one section, where is it? Next page. No. This is before use warning. Yeah. But I hope you are able to, learn more about how visual aids can be used wisely, effectively. Yeah. So bisectional. And then you find, for example, number one, you find some close-ups. Right? So when you think about your own designs, well, how about the use of visual aids? And this is exactly these specifications. You find the model number, the power source, yeah, suitable floor area, think of the range, cleaning time, operating mode. Yeah, so all these technical details. Well, this is for users, but for technicians, or say the production management team, of course, the specifications would be, of course, includes more information, much more information than this one. This is for the users. The spec is about, how it's about the usage, yes, any particular stuff. Sensor cleaning, yeah. FAQs, yeah. So possible problems, impossible. No. Sometimes, you have to think about, safety. Life is always placed at the top of the list. Okay, good. So it could be used as one of the samples when you design your own tech specs. Great. But feel free to ask more follow-up questions. General users. Okay, good question about the audience. Good. Okay, the target readers. Yes, target audience. Just imagine. Okay, what might happen if, our set of tech specs has been prepared for both general users and technical professionals? Yeah, what might happen? Something good or something bad? Okay, just imagine if, there's a set of specifications, which fits both parties, both stakeholders, both groups of stakeholders. What might happen?
Some of the stakeholders will get confused.
Very good response. Okay, what about other students? Okay, what do you think? Because for example, if I were a user, I might, be given, some so-called irrelevant information. Oh, okay, what's it? I can't understand at all. Okay, I've never needed at all. Yeah. That's why, in your group specifications, you need to have a very, very clear ideas about who the specs for. Exactly. Your choice, okay, not my choice. But I guess, okay, you might know more about, say, pick this one as an example. If this set of materials is for technical individuals, technical professionals, don't you think this set of materials is good enough? Is it good for technical professionals? Say, yes, product production team members of Muji.
Well, if I were the production manager or even the production team, sometimes I would think that, hey, maybe we should have made the menu far more easier for the general public to read. We sometimes have to put our perspective from a professional into a general public user without any specific or even particular knowledge in engineering. So if if later in case our team got blamed saying that, oh, it's too easy for the general public to read, but it's not for the professional engineers to read, then we thought, no, what were we doing? We're supposed to let the public to use it, not only us.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. Yes, exactly. That's the point. That's why, it's one of our, objectives. Well, one of the objectives of this course, that is you guys, engineers to be, should learn how to use different, like what we said, different languages, okay, to communicate with different parties in terms of word choice, in terms of sentence structure, in terms of the amount of information that you deliver. Everything has already been carefully calculated. Yes, exactly. Tailor-made, that's the meaning of tailor-made materials. Yeah, of course, mixed up, yes. Okay, overlapping area, or maybe not overlapping area, but then anyway, they share different needs. They need different kinds of information. I don't know whether you still remember, we tried one activity about, okay, I show you three, sets of materials about fertilizer. And then I asked you guys to design which, piece of information is for farmers, which piece of information is for the general public, and which piece of information is for the professors of the particular, say, chemistry, or biotech, or say biochemistry professors. Three different sets of materials, even though the content is almost the same. Three different approaches. Take a look of the technical writing style 2A, module 2A, and then refer to the examples again if you have already forgotten. But I thank you very much. And please do remind yourself, this is a very important skill that you have to use in the future in the workplace, even when you work with the marketing. Maybe in a big corp, your role is a programmer, your role is a software engineer or hardware engineer. Anyway, you have to communicate with different stakeholders, different working parties. Are you sure that they can follow you? They can understand, or whether you are saving, as I said, saving your communication time as well as theirs when you share technical information with, say, like what I said, marketing people. What do they want to know? Okay, what about your clients? What about your senior managers? What about your co-workers, technicians, different parties? Then the same piece of information should be presented differently, right? The same idea. And then you do different words, patterns, illustration, examples, visual aids, whatever. Yeah. So when we designed this course, we got different forms, speaking forms. We ask you to write, we ask you to speak, but basically we are doing the same thing. That is, you change your, your focus when you communicate with different parties. Yeah. So, but please do bear in mind, when you work with your team members, when you draft your technical specifications, first of all, I hope you still remember I share one example, student sample with you. Let's take a look or revisit that example. And I hope you still remember at the very beginning, my students did talk about what is it? Example. Oh, yeah. Yeah, remember the foot printer. This is about hardware. The foot printer. This one. And then scope of work. Potential users. Okay, but then this is not a nicely written one. It's unclear. Let me show you a clearer one, a better one. This is another one. There's a software. I don't know whether I did share this SRS with you. This one. It's about market, yeah, supermarket. SRS. The household cleaner. Maybe I show you this one. The household cleaner. This is another one. Household chaser. And then again, at the beginning, we find the introduction, general descriptions, part by part description, part by part text specs, and then reference. Yeah. Yeah. One, the purpose of this document is about product development team to prepare a course evaluation for this product. The one about food, no. It's a poorly written one. I can tell you there are lots of problems, but I hope you are able to identify some of the problems. I will share, of course, I will share some good one with you as well. Yeah. But I hope you are able to compare and you see the differences, and then you know more about what you should say, again, do's and don'ts and so on. Yeah. This one is about yes, household chaser. Maybe I can share this with you as well. I'm not sure whether I've uploaded this to site or not. Okay. Yeah, this one. That's one. There's another one. I shared two with you before. The one is an SRS, software requirement specifications for software program, while the first one is the food mixer, I forgot. Yeah. So let's have our discussions in the second part of today. Yeah, the first two. Okay. You may compare in the coming time when you have the discussion time. Say, this is sample 3. Okay, household chaser. This one for hardware products. Again, for hardware products, household chaser. 3 and 1. Both of them are for hardware products. But for hardware engineering students, say MAE, electronics, biomedical, energy, then for these students, we focus on hardware specifications instead of SRS. But if you think, okay, actually, no. My product is an app. Okay, I would like to focus on the software, of course, well, the software part. And please give me more ideas about how I prepare, an SRS for my products. Then, of course, yes, I will spend time working on that area as well. Good, thanks. Just for your information, where can you find more information about technical specifications writing? Of course, well, don't forget your course materials. Even though, Adeline style, I don't like to, just walk you through every single page and then check the answers and then try every single activities. No, I think, well, you might take that, the course materials as something, what is it, as a reference here. Yep. With emoji. Okay, this one. Yeah. Module 2C, this one. So module 2A is about technical writing style. Module 2B is about technical instructions, technical descriptions. We have already talked about the skills, the basic skills there. But I think, well, when you guys start working on your technical specifications, all module 3's materials will help you. Yeah, because, well, you have to give instructions, you have to, draft instructions, describe the mechanisms. Okay, well, the particular features of every single part, sharing technical information, say the size, dimensions, weight, other measurements, to your target readers. Yeah, so you hope you still remember, yes, the recipe, and then move on. You will be shown some examples. This is a typical, what we call 2-column style. You find 2 columns, just like when you have a look of Muji's user manual, you find 2-column specs like this. Okay. Now let's take a look at my presentation materials, my PPT. I hope you find it useful. I provide you with a scenario and let you understand more about, what you may have to consider when you draft your tech specs, or what actually tech specs like. What is it? Okay, come on. So I share some general information with you first, and then the second part will be your discussion time with the team member. So here is a scenario. Take a look. Feel free to ask any question at any time, with the chat box. Okay. The owner of a company that makes electronic toys. There's a new, electronic toy dog. Have a home security system, smart dog. Plays with kids, obeys commands. And when it's home alone, it records any activities that happens. This dog can be hooked up to an electronic doorbell with a camera so that it also records anyone that comes to the door. Good? Is it a nice invention? A nice design? Would you like to have one at home? So it's about product design. This dog will be popular, but before you can begin manufacturing and selling the product in bulk, you first need to write down the specifications for this new product. So the specifications tells, can you make a list? What sorts of information has got to be included? Yeah. So begin before the beginning of manufacturing and selling the product in bulk. We have to write down the specs. Tell something. Tell what? Yeah, good guess, right? Tell the consumers about the product. So the consumers might need the specs, just like the Muji, the user manual. Manufacturer, how to make the product. So, I mean, we under the word, okay, specifications actually in the future, I'm sure in the coming years, say year 3, year 4, everybody, I mean, will get a chance to read more and more specifications. There are different kinds of specifications. Sometimes, it's not something new to you, say performance specifications, design specifications, and manufacturing specifications. Why we got different name? The reason simple, just like some of you said, is about, avoiding confusion. Just like what we discussed, if the specifications, could be understood by or could be used by both the manufacturers and the customers. No, the designers. Okay. Performance, okay, is about for the customers, and serving different needs. That's why, if you come across certain terms like performance specs, design specs, manufacturing specs, don't feel surprised. No, just actually they are similar. Can you answer all these questions? I hope I'm able to answer or help you get the answers of all these questions at the end of today. Today's meeting. What are tech specs? Analogy. You think about, analogy, simile, metaphor. So tech specs are like something, was it? Users, readers, who are they? Students may ask one question. Okay, Evelyn, you tell us that every single team has to prepare our own tech specs. Does it mean we are preparing the user manuals, instructions, data sheets? Okay, what? It's a set of technical documents which includes quite a lot of contents areas, you may say. Users, different users, maybe engineers, users and customers, manufacturers, investors, technicians, the ones who will help you test the products, for example. They need to know, more about the safety, the information concerning safety, concerning the durability of your products. Production team members, marketing members. I hope you still remember what we discussed when we tried the menu, right? The recipe activity. Various stakeholders, but most importantly, they need some different information. That's the tricky point. Specs. Any descriptions of the physical, functional, or performance characteristics, or of the nature of a surface constructions or major repair item. Physical characteristics. Got it. Okay. Physical characteristics of your product. So just quickly imagine. So your design, your team's design. Remember the pad. Remember you guys talked about, is it the ring or the bracelets, right? I mean, one team. In another section, I got one team, they want to prepare a suitcase. Remember? So physical characteristics, functional, as well as performance. So all the information is going to be included in your specs. Helps companies clearly expect what expectations they have for a product. That means after reading the specs, basically they can imagine, okay, number one, what about its looks? as how powerful it will be. How many parts are there? So all these questions can be answered after reading the specs. Text specs are detailed explanations of the required. Wow. Some of you said yes, materials, one of the items. What about the other three? Can you guess? Environment. Oh yeah, we got another. Well, environment. We got materials. And what about the other two blanks? Can you guess? Okay, design. Nice. Okay. Condition. Design, materials, condition, environment that must be used to create a product. Let the users means, okay, remember different, maybe, different parties. It depends, who use it. So can you guess the first WH word? The users might know. Number one. Second line, another WH word. Lovely. Good. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good. Nice. A user's will. The second. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. So checklist. Yes. Thanks so much. Exactly. So when you design your specs, basically you want to achieve this goal. That means after reading the specs, your readers should know what your products will do, how, if okay, it's for the users will be able to interact with it, how, and then what it will look like. That's why if you ask, oh, do I have to show, do I have to prepare the prototype? No. But at least the designs, yes. Okay. What about the looks? Okay. Well, the appearance, the overall design, yes. Then how can you do it? Do you draw it by hand? No. I mean, of course, that's why, like what my husband's an engineer said, well, drawing skills are crucial for engineers. Descriptions of products requirements like, remember the condition, right? Temperature, yeah, height, for example, different kinds of requirements. Provide details for the design, for the manufacturer, testing, installation, how the products can be used. All these could be covered in the specs. But of course, whether all these sections or areas are equally important, I guess, well, the most crucial point is still going back to one question, that is, who's this specs for? Okay. Well, you find these words again, right? Materials, environment, designs, functions, products, performance. I love the term cost effective. That means if you provide the relevant or irrelevant information, well, that means the product production team members, for example, can save their time in the future after finishing the productions of these products, because they have already been able to anticipate all possible problems, all needs, and so on. Yes. So, that's why you need to think more about, what sort of, just like, with an issue that we discussed, whether this piece of information is redundant, or, no, okay, for safety's sake, it's better to have it. So that's a kind of choice. Now, let me share short video clips with you about application specification. It's not about hardware, it's about software. Hope it gives you more idea about, well, both. Because I think now engineers, no matter, which major you're in, you need to gain both software as well as hardware engineering knowledge.
Hi, this is Chris. Today I'm going to talk to you about what makes a good specification for building an app. In these times of agile development practices, it's really tempting to just go ahead and write the code from simple requirements and then just iterate together with users and stakeholders. And this might actually work during the development. But as soon as you start testing, it becomes really difficult without complete requirements. There are many practices for documenting the architecture and requirements of a solution. And the most common methodologies like RUP and TOGAF divide them into a number of different documents, which is the main reason that many promote a simpler approach. In an attempt to find a middle path, I will show you a template that I've created by merging the best from the common methodologies, but still keeping everything in one single document. The specification template consists of mainly 3 parts, and they are the conceptual, the logical, and the physical view of the solution. The conceptual solution answers the question what, as in what the mobile solution will do, and include the functional and non-functional requirements. It starts with an overview figure and description, followed by the user stories or simplified use cases. The user stories are complemented by screen mockups of all the screens in the app. If a screen is very complex, which should be avoided in an app as it should be really simple, several mockups may be needed for that screen. Following the user stories is a brief description of the service calls and data that the app will use. And finally comes the non-functional requirements around security, availability, etc. The conceptual solution is very useful during the implementation and in the creation of the test cases to verify the quality of the solution. The logical solution answers the question how, as in how will the solution be implemented, and describe the main parts of the solution, but without being specific on what technologies and products are used. It starts with a figure followed by a description of the different parts of the solution. The logical solution is essential when it comes to compare and select the final physical solution. For example, it can be shared with different suppliers, which can come back with a suggested physical solution based on their products. The physical solution answers the question with what, as in with what will the solution be realized, and describe the actual products and technologies used, as well as solution details like service interfaces and database structure. It also starts with a figure that is very similar to the one in the logical solution, but here each part of the solution is also specified with the actual technology and product that will be used to realize that part. In the description of the figure, all details on each technology and product are provided, like which edition or version is used. Then service interfaces are documented with request formats, parameters and their data types, returned entities and their attributes and data types, responses and error codes, etc. The database tables are specified with attributes and their data types, primary keys, etc. An important point about a document like this is to ensure that it's a living thing throughout the project. And therefore, I recommend storing the document using a cloud service like Google Drive. When requirements or technical solutions change, make sure that the document is updated so that it's aligned with the implemented solution. This way, the document will automatically become the system documentation. Okay, so there you have an example of what a good specification for building an app can look like. And with that, I wish you the best of luck in creating great apps. Thank you.
Hope all the videos may help you have a better understanding of what we are talking about. This, you mean the videos about application specifications or general specifications? Oh, of course, yes, I do. Yeah, both software as well as hardware technical specifications will be well, my student samples as well as some, real product specs, will be shared with you guys. Yes. Okay. But I suggest, say, for example, one team, as I told you, they focus on producing suitcase. Then it's a must for them to have a look of the existing, suitcases in market, and then try to go and then have a look of their specifications first. Okay, it's a must. Then you know more about, oh, that's how, we describe the, the design, or, the technical information that would be needed, and it would be, it would help a lot. What as I shared, I will talk a bit more about text specs writing in terms of language skills, writing skills. But then, I hope that you guys might also be exposed to more samples, and then share the questions with each other, with me, most important, so then I can help and answer your questions. After the break, we will do that. And then now let's have a short break, about 5 minutes. Our class will resume at 9:45. Okay, so you should receive one more text specs sample, alpha power. So totally there are 3. I hope you guys, how should you, analyze these samples? I suggest you focus on the same area, for example, scope, for example, audience, for example, general description, and then compare these 3 groups of students' work, and then see whether you have any comments on one, or 2, or all, specifications. Do you think these students, they have done a good job, or no? Do you have any questions about their approaches? If yes, please do ask. I am putting you into your own group. What's the meaning? That means, the groups that you have formed. You will see your team members. I think it's easier for you to make the use of the time, to talk about your project, as well as learn, from the from the samples, or even from the evaluation, say, or analysis. Just let me know if you have any questions. I will join your team later, every single team, and then see whether I can provide you guys with any additional information. Discussion time, I guess, this time, it will be longer, about 15 minutes. Please jot down the question you have, or the comments you have. Again, when we join the main sections, I would like to ask the teams, to evaluate, for example, one of the specs, or a particular area of all these approaches. You got all three specifications with you? Yes. Do I have to do anything to help? Aqua power box. Food, is it food maker, and then the home chaser, three text specs. Yeah, you got them. If you missed any one of them, please let me know. So you should have three different sets of technical specification, general text specs for hardware products. We will talk about software later, but let's focus on the hardware parts. If you got no questions now, I open the room and you will see your teammates. Hi. I guess your team will focus on SRS, right? Still, it's good for you to learn, to grab some skills about drafting general text specs. Yeah, but you guys will focus on SRS, right? Software requirements specs. Yeah, we'll talk about it next. And then if you have a look, or maybe I can, share 1 or 2 sets of materials with you guys today. Then you guys might move on and do some, studies first and bring your questions back when we see each other this first day. That would be great. Because I guess, I don't know what other teams, but it seems to me that only one single team, your team, focuses on, software. Yes, application. For them, they talk about, they focus on something like bracelets or vending machines or and some anyway hardware products. But still okay. Have a look and then see how you evaluate these 3 samples and raise some questions if any. I see you guys later. Bye then. Bye. shared, I promised, and I shared more. Yeah. Yes, share your questions here at the chat when typed everything into the chat window so that I can collect your questions. At the same time, I'm sharing 2 SRS with you. This is the first one. And I share one authentic one in the market, purchase in the market. Attendance tracking, yeah, this one. Yeah, 2 in total. They are different from the ones that you received, okay? The first SRS was written by my students. My nutritionist is a mobile application. Remember the ladies, I showed you her videos, informative presentation, she talks about Pixel. Yeah, her team. Yeah, so it's about, okay, well, relying on a mobile app. Once you take a photo of a food item, then you get the, nutritional values of, that particular dish, blah, blah, blah. Then you know more about, calories, okay, nutritional values, and so on with the help of that app. The next one is a real one, in the market. Yeah. And then if you have a look, you know more about how the difference between SRS and general tech specs. What? But still, you may find something in common. Right, this is the one written by my students. Still, you find the purpose, the scope. What's this tech specs for? This SRS for? Yeah, the abbreviation, acronyms, the references, overall description. So you got to introduce what this mobile app is about. The general structure. Yeah, so please have a look, okay? And I hope, all of you are exposed to both hardware as well as software technical documents. Because as I share, I think, no matter which major you are in, still, okay, it's good for you to develop various skills, technical skills in terms of technical skills. Let me see whether I am able to collect any questions from you. Any questions about the student samples? Which one sounds better? Any ideas about something that you guys have discussed? Which one? You love? You think, okay, in terms of clarity, for example, is it easier for you to understand what the mechanisms like, what the products like, and so on? Which one's better? Has your team got any ideas? No? Not yet? Or any, worries, concerns? Some of you talks about, okay, technical issues. Number one, tip. Student sample. 3 of them. What I mean is 3. Say, remember the you mean the SRS? My students' work is better than the one, the authentic one. Yeah, in terms of clarity, yeah. We don't expect it. Yes, not as complicated as, yeah, yeah, I guess. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Because as I said, it's a kind of protection, safety, think about safety net, guidelines, clear guidelines, avoid, legal suits. Yes. Yeah, we might discuss more, but if you got any immediate, questions now, I'm more than happy to answer them, or anyway, collect your questions. Tips. Number one, yes, if you have already got some ideas about your product, SRS or general technical specs, it's good for you to, well, explore more and more similar products, tech specs, read more, I mean, so as to get more ideas about what tech specs are like. I talk with one team, and then we share one concern that is usually in the market sometimes, when you Google, okay, when you try to browse different websites, try to collect more info on the net, then still it's a bit difficult because we usually, come across the customer-oriented technical documents. That means the user manuals instead of, the ones for technical people, technical individuals. Yeah. Then the second tip is, don't worry, still go ahead and then make your attempt and share your question with me when you share the first draft, okay, with Evelyn, because don't forget, as I told you, I got a very good advisor. Don't you still remember who my advisor is? Almost 27. You don't remember? My advisor, yes, my husband, yes. As I told you, his first degree was MAE, and he did his first degree, and then he focused on MAE, and then he did his master degree in computer science, both hardware, software specifications. Well, not an expert, but and then anyway, he might provide you guys with support. He got no choice, sorry. But yeah, so I mean, learn, okay, and then get into the technical world. I know, fully understand for year 2 students is this aspects, this area would be pretty challenging because you have never, maybe, got any idea, never got any ideas about, okay, the SRS, say, the technical part. I will share more and more, students' work, and then some their problems, or some, something which has been nicely done with you guys. Yeah, but first of all, let's get an overall picture. Don't, feel like, okay, my mind is empty. I know nothing about tech specs. But then anyway, just like what we discussed this morning, you know more about, okay, your major concerns when you prepare the content, what should be included, what should not be included, first of all. Yeah. So think about, if I were one of the readers, what sort of information would be crucial to me, would be necessary to me. Yeah. Okay, I must stop here because, I know I will still remember some of you got your back-to-back lessons, me too, and I will see you this Thursday. Have a look at the SRS samples, and I will upload the, if you have already forgotten, the template, please have a look at the templates of both SRS as well as general tech specs on our Blackboard site. If you want to start working with the team members sometimes this week, or have a meeting with them at least. Yeah, so stay behind if you have any questions. If not, we will move on and have our, challenging and tough learning journey about tech specs writing this Thursday. Yeah. Bye for now. Have a good one.